Today we're going to talk about weld symbols, and specifically we're going to be talking about the fillet weld. You have a reference line, that's where all your information goes about your welds, your length, size, and pitch. We have an arrow that'll point to the weld. Up here where the arrow points to the weld, that will be your arrow side. Arrow side is always on the bottom of the reference line. The opposite side where you don't see nothing is the other side. What goes in the tail is the processes that the welders are using. Today we're going to use GMAW, gas metal arc welding. And we'll drop down to the next one here. The fillet weld is right here, symbol. It's pointing down here at this on the arrow side, because that's where the arrow is pointing. The next one up here, it's on the other side. The arrow's pointing here, we have no weld. The arrow's pointing here, so it's on the other side, and that's so as to put it on the top. If you have a weld on both sides, you have to put the weld on both sides. Again, we're using GMAW, gas metal arc welding. We're going to go into talking about the size of the weld. The size of the weld, we have a leg here and a leg here. That's how you measure your weld. It's measured from the bottom and from the top. Okay, now we're going to go on to the size, length, and pitch. Size is the height of the weld up and down and over some edge to edge. That's like your legs of your toe of your weld. In this particular case, we're using a quarter inch. Both welds are the same. The length of the weld, we're going to use 2 inches from the beginning of the weld to the end of the weld. And the pitch of the weld is 6 inches from the center of the weld to the next weld to his center. Over here on the symbol, we're pointing at the arrow side. The size of the weld is 1/4 inch, length is 2 inches, and pitch is 6 inches. We have it on both sides, so we have to put it on both sides. 1/4 inch, 2 and 6. Over on the next one here, we have the 1/4 inch weld size again. So it goes to the far left, just like before, that's where it always goes. But on the arrow side now, here at the top, we have the 2 inch length, 6 inch pitch. But on the other side, we have a continuous weld. So you put nothing. And when you put nothing up here, that means the weld is continuous across the whole piece. The next thing we have a weld, we have continuous welds on both sides. But we have unequal legs. We have a 1/4 inch weld going up and a 1/2 inch weld going over this way. Your vertical weld, the one going up, it's always the one that comes first. So the 1/4 inch comes first, the 1/2 inch comes second. It's on both sides the same, so we have 1/4 by 1/2, 1/4 by 1/2 on the far left-hand side. It's a continuous weld, so we don't need no symbol here at all because the weld continues across the whole piece. Now we're going to have a round bar, and we're going to put a weld all the way around it at a 1/4 inch in size. Again, to the far left-hand side, you get a 1/4 inch. Now, where the reference line and the arrow meet here at the edge corner, you put a circle around there, and that means all the way around. It means that the weld continues all the way around, and it has to be on the arrow side because it can't be on the other side because that'll be in the center of the tube, and you can't do that. So it's always on the bottom side, arrow side. Talking about a staggered weld, where the welds are, one weld's put in, the next one's the opposite what the gap would be, and continues on like that. We're using a 2 inch length, 6 inch pitch, and a 1/4 inch leg height and width. So the 1/4 inch would come first, but we've got to remember now, because on the arrow side, it's closest to the edge, so that triangle, or the symbol of the fillet weld, is closest to the tail. And the other one will be staggered off of it. We're using a 2 inch length and a 6 inch pitch. So your weld symbol will look like this. A quick recap. We have the fillet weld here on this side. Arrows pointing at it, so it's on the bottom, which is arrow side. The fillet weld symbol was on the bottom. Over on this one, even though the weld's on the opposite side here, but the arrow's also over there, the fillet weld symbol still on the arrow side, the symbol was on the bottom. Here they want the fillet weld on both sides. It's on this side, so it shows both sides with the fillet weld. Even though we put the arrow on the other side, and they want both welds on both sides, the symbol goes on both sides. We now have a tube coming up, and they want to weld all the way around. Remember, it's got to be on the arrow side with the circle where the two reference line and the arrow meet. Even though it's on the other side, still stays the same because the bottom of the reference line is always the arrow side. and the symbol goes here. Remember that their size goes to the far left, the length of the weld is on the right first, and then the pitch following behind that. Thank you. Here's the fillet weld on the T-joint, the one we were using. As you notice, it's always in a triangular shape the weld would be. Parts of the weld that we covered today were the legs, and then we covered length and pitch. Here on this diagram, they're showing you the legs, the face, and where the toes are at, actual throat, and effective throat. So try to remember them also. They'll come in at a later time.